Allow me to introduce to you Keturah Ovio from Dukka. Keturah? Hey, ladies again. Who ran the world? Here we go. You have a microphone? You're good? All right.
I hope I am. Can you hear me? Okay,
Yeah.
Great. Hello, everyone. My name is Keturah Ovio. I am the founder and CEO of Dukka. Dukka provides a seamless blend of payment, digital payments, and business management solutions built for any business type. Now, today I'll be walking us through how at Dukka we're unleashing the potential of Africa commerce, taking micro businesses to attain macro growth in a short possible time. Now, 95% of African businesses have been categorized as micro, small, and medium enterprises. These are what they look like. I've put some examples of pictures on the slide for context. Now, the lower end of these businesses, which I refer to as micro business, reports $1,200 to $12,000 turnover every year, while mid-level businesses do between $300,000 to $3.5 million per annum. Now, that's immense value that is being created. However, they are rife with challenges, numerous of them, from poor infrastructure to lacking access to capital to low technology adoption, which really is, if it's not as stupid simple as WhatsApp and affordable, they don't want to touch it. They're faced with multiple taxation. They're faced with also poor business management skills, which leads to having no clear insights on revenue versus cost centers, which also leads to flawed decision making in their business. They don't have enough capacity. There's crime. There's corruption. Staying compliant with the regulations is also a tedious thing. Now, imagine if we had an ecosystem that positions commerce to thrive in Africa. We would then have unlocked or unleashed the potential for micro businesses to really thrive. What am I saying? Dukka is building an ecosystem. We've just talked about the challenges that small businesses face. Now, the question arises, what do they need to fuel their growth? They need easy funding. They need online discoverability. They need digital payments. And they need to streamline their operations. What we've done is Dukka basically turns just about anybody to a merchant. You can, with Dukka, you don't need to be technology savvy or have like some fancy HBS degree in business for you to be able to get paid or pay anyone, for you to be able to manage your inventory, for you to be able to track sales and expenses, whether you have 1 shop, 5 shops, 1,000 shops, being able to see your revenue and cost centers, being able to gain those micro business insights. So you know if your customers like Pepsi Cola over Coca-Cola, that helps you to double down on inventory and using all this data to be able to access capital for you to fuel your growth. Now, as more and more merchants come into Dukka's ecosystem, what that means is consumers are now able to discover vetted merchants, to pay each other, to pay them, to shop securely in an ecosystem that, in terms of payments, it operates and works online and on and off ramp. Dukka is definitely moving. Today, we have a revenue opportunity in the next 5 months to attain $400,000, which can, at critical scale, will scale up to $50 million in ARR. Notable insights of what we've been able to achieve to today is we've onboarded 100,000 merchants to our software. 90,000 of them are in Nigeria. We launched our embedded payment solution within the first 5 months. With 150 plus customers, we're able to generate over $120,000. With that small success rate, I would say a success, we've now partnered with our honorable partners, as you can see on the screen, which gives us access to 1.5 million customers today that we need to onboard. So what that means is we have a good problem to have, right? We have an urgent need. From the hardware point of view, we have 30,000 terminals that we need to deploy, which will generate $4.3 million in free cash flow per annum to us. We're raising $1.5 million in equity and $2.1 million debt to help us invest in our tech so we can focus on improving the product quality and the overall customer experience, to invest in our technology and our growth teams. so that we can capitalize on the immediate opportunities and also to scale these terminals deployed within the next 15 months to over 100,000. I'm also here in Nairobi seeking market expansion opportunities, so happy to speak to local players. Been here for a couple of days, already having conversations, so if you're a local partner, I would love to speak with you. Don't be that investor who 6 months down the line would wish they invested in Dukka. This is your cue to invest in Dukka today. My contact information is on screen. Let's do business, let's partner, let's work together. Thank you.
Right on time. All right. I have no questions. Please, judges.
I'd say my first question is my concern with the behavioral changes that are required. You're targeting, I mean, you've listed all the questions, or listed all the issues. Low tech, you said decision-making is flawed. It's very typically like using pen and paper as opposed to digital products. Lack of, maybe they aren't even using a bank, maybe they're offline. That's a lot of core fundamental behavioral changes that are going to be really difficult onboarding to get these people at scale using Dukka. So how are you thinking? I understand the ecosystem and I understand, peers pulling them in, creating as many services as possible to make it easier, but that's a lot of education, and you want to minimize the amount of education your consumer has to go through in order to engage with your product. How are you thinking about that?
Very interesting. I think the market is also changing in the sense that, technology adoption is not a if, it's a question of when. And in the last year, maybe and a bit more, we have been struggling. There's no cash in Nigeria, right? Like, there's no physical cash. You have to...
Liquidity challenges.
We're buying Naira in Naira. Like, for you to get a stash of cash, you have to pay someone, shouldn't be saying this publicly, you have to pay someone at your bank to give you, access to physical cash. So there's small businesses with the cash crunch that we experienced early last year. It's inevitable. They have to be part of the digital economy. Now, what they think and what they've been, I would say, educated by the market is, we have to get a POS terminal, right? Because with a terminal, I can accept card payments. Now, for us, we're not just giving them, a clunky old, C# reading POS terminal that only accept card payments. Our terminal is smart, it's Android-based, it's intuitive, it's future-proof. You can process card payments, bank transfer, QR codes, NFC, however your digital wallets, however your customers want to pay you, you can ultimately accept money. Now, to us, what we want to do is to provide a 360 solution to the small business owner. But today, they think their only problem is, I want to receive digital payments. And we're giving them that. It's a great place to start. And with that, whether you want to use our device, because you can also do inventory money, everything I spoke about, you can do it here. Whether or not you just want to use Dukka for collections, so to collect money, really, that's what it means from your customer, we will still incentivize you in an intuitive way to tell us what that transaction is for. And then we record that for you, and that creates your transaction history. So like it or not, we're not forcing you, but we're incentivizing you and taking your habits, your activities to help you to get to where we want to be. Because when you process digital payments, we can clearly see you're, transacting ₦1 million a month, right? That's data that anybody can use to provide from micro insurance, micro pension, access to capital, inventory, finance, whatever it is. You can leverage data to make informed decisions as a business and also as a financial institution trying to serve them. Now, in terms of getting these businesses, we've been able to acquire customers on our own, and we're also now acquiring customers through shared distribution. So we've partnered with a bunch of these guys, right? For example, the partnership with USAID and Mercy Corps is 10,000 customers in Northeast Nigeria, right? Partnership with, combining ASA, Victory, Empowerment, Grooming Center, that's 1 million customers, right? So these are customers they already serve. They provide microloans, whatever financial service that they provide to them. And these are customers that have been profiled. They're ideal customers for us, and we're literally just onboarding them to our ecosystem.
And you give the POS for free, or who has to buy it?
The merchant.
Okay, and why would they choose you guys over MoneyPoint?
Optionality. Interestingly, that's a question I get asked a lot. In Nigeria, Money Point, OPay is pretty dominant. But what we've found, especially in the markets where we're strategically growing, Money Point is great, it's famous, it's popular in big markets, in big cities. When you go to remote places, not so, not really, right? There's a preference for Dukka, specifically in the northern regions of Nigeria. And we have partnerships that already give us access to these customers. These are customers that have been profiled. So for them, it's portable. It fits in your pocket. It fits in your bag. It fits in your purse. It's low cost. It's optionality. It gives you more than just process payment. And you're not tied to one bank. We're integrated with multiple banks. So we're able to give customers, whether they're markets or states where we go, they prefer FCMB. They prefer GT Bank. They prefer this. With Money Points, you're limited. It's just one option. And number two, the market is large enough, right? This is a statistics I've actually researched on heavily. The number of fintechs to citizens, American citizens, as of last year was 1 to 37,000. So basically, if you divide American population by number of fintechs that are serving them, every fintech has 37,000 customers equally to share. In Nigeria, that's 1 to 1 million customers. So obviously, only Money Point or OPay or anybody else cannot serve 220 million people. Not even 5 players can serve 220 million people. If it was that easy, all the banks in Nigeria combined should have onboarded everyone, and financial exclusion or inclusion would not be a topic for today. So there's more than enough market to play. There's always a customer there for us to serve. The market is huge, it's growing.
Last one.
Yeah.
Do you do instant settlements?
Yes.
You do instant settlements?
Yes, we do.
Okay. So I will get it in my accounts now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you sign up on Dukka, we create a bank account for you so you can see the money coming in and out. You can track it yourself. You can see the ones that failed, succeeded, pending, all of that. You don't even have to call us. You're doing your reconciliation by yourself. Yeah.
Thank you. So first of all, I think this is the perfect timing for this solution. So we've done a lot of work on this in this space, and
I've been trying to talk to you guys.
and then I'll reiterate some of the things we said. Where this is like the third stage of POS development in Africa, where the first stage was bank-led, the second stage was fintech-led, and the third stage is software-led. And you guys are sort of developing that software to go into hardware. The challenge is the segment you're going after, which is the sort of underserved SMEs and the micro businesses, because it's really hard to make money off them. They don't transact that much, so it's hard to make money off of that. It's really hard to lend to them if you don't have full share of wallet. And then on the other services, they don't pay for that, right? They don't pay for the accounting and bookkeeping, et cetera. So just maybe talk a bit about how you're going to monetize, especially some of these underserved folks and with some of the micro businesses you're going after.
Yeah. So we are targeting micro businesses, but we're also targeting mid-level businesses. So it's business at the end of the day, right? You want to target and onboard and help, bottom of the pyramid. You have to have in 10%, 20%, 30% that generates, the most of your revenue, while everyone supplements, and you can kind of achieve, critical scale like that. How we monetize them, answer that question. They pay an upfront fee, so they don't pay full cost for this. They pay an upfront fee. They spread the rest of the payments over time. We charge. We make money from transaction fees as well. We charge a SaaS fee. It's not a lot, but it's doable. And what we've been able, again, is a function of narrative, right? We call it maintenance fees, because when Nigerians hear subscription, I think there's a trauma that exists, with that word. Hey. So we've been able to charge, we've been able to create a low cost, I would say, earning opportunity for those micro customers. But for us, it's a function of today. It's a function of that. So we will make money from them, but not as much as a mid-level business. But the scale, the number of customers that we're serving increases. So doing our projections, what we've been able to see is we can make, between $8 to $12 per customer per month. Combining all our earning, revenue streams, right? Happy to discuss that with you offline. It looks like you have questions. But, so supplementing that with mid-level businesses, we have a customer we're onboarding. Literally, it's a shoebox of a small shop, but they have 110 shoeboxes scattered across Nigeria, right? So that's a micro business. And if there's anything, a lot of people consider, I would say, put themselves under the umbrella of micro so that they don't get taxed by the government directly. So if you look at the transaction volumes that you're doing, they're really not micro, even though the size of the shop is considered micro.
Great. That's it from the judges. By the way, why the name Dukka?
It's a Pan-African name. So it has a meaning in Hausa, in Arabic, in Swahili, it means small shop. Also in Hindi, small shop. In Hausa, it means all of us. So if you combine all the meaning together, it means we're building an all-in-one solution for small shops. Exactly.
Good stuff. Let's appreciate Keturah.